Hi, it's Monday, July 6, 2020. And today I want to continue exploring thought that is at the core of our society, that we are uprooting right now and exploring and examining and deciding whether we want to continue on the way we have been or if we want to change. Because I think the division that's within our society right now is far greater than Republican versus Democrat or conservative versus liberal or even Trumper versus non-Trumper. So I want to read from one of my favorite spiritual leaders, Desmond Tutu. And if you don't know Desmond Tutu, he's not only besties with the Dalai Lama, but he was instrumental in helping to overturn apartheid in South Africa. In his book, God Has a Dream, in the chapter, God Loves You As You Are, he writes, I read a disturbing book given to Nobel laureates entitled Our Contempt for Weakness by Harald Ofstad. It's an examination of Nazism. The author writes, if we examine ourselves in the mirror of Nazism, we see our own traits, enlarged but so revealing for that very reason. Anti-Semitism, or the hatred of Jews, is not the essence of Nazism. Its essence is the doctrine that the strong shall rule over the weak, and that the weak are contemptible because they're weak. Nazism did not originate in Germany of the 1930s. It did not disappear in 1945. It expresses deeply rooted tendencies which are constantly alive in and around us. See if this sounds familiar. We admire those who fight their way to the top and are contemptuous of the loser. Sound familiar? We consider ourselves rid of Nazism because we abhorred the gas chambers. We forget that they were the ultimate product of a philosophy which despised the weak and admired the strong. And if it sounds familiar, I see it in how the COVID-19 pandemic is being handled here in the United States. That there are people who are worthy of getting care and treatment, and those who aren't. There are people that are valued, can get regular testing, and then there's everybody else who is not part of that strong elite class. And they're held in contempt for that reason. Their lives don't mean anything. In the same chapter, Desmond Tutu continues to write, when we begin to realize that God loves us with our weakness, with our vulnerability, with our failures, we can begin to accept them as an inevitable part of our human life. We can love others with their failures when we stop despising ourselves because of our failures. We can begin to have compassion for ourselves and see that even our sinfulness, and I'll call sinfulness missing the mark, stepping away from God, is our acting out of our own suffering. Then we can see that others' sinfulness is their own acting out in their suffering. When we have compassion for others and we see other people acting out their own suffering on others, on ourselves, it doesn't mean that if we're a compassionate person, that we have to condone that behavior. Because we are compassionate, we stand up and we say, no, you don't get to do that. Stop. Not on my watch. No further. No more. It stops. So, keeping that in mind as you go through your day, can you see the nugget of that idea of the strong ruling over the weak threaded throughout our society? Can you see parts of that in the conflicts that are rising up right now? And how do you want to live? What kind of world do you want? Because we are getting the opportunity to rewrite history, to rewrite the thoughts that are driving our society. So what do you want to hear? What is the story you want to tell? What is the world you want to live in? With that, I send you love and blessings, whether we've ever met or not. And as Ernest Holmes always said, there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. And I like to add, that power for good, it can use you too. So let it. Until next time.